See, today we will discuss about Platonic notion of education. Is it okay? And we have already discussed in the previous class types of question may be asked in the examination. And today we will start the topic curriculum of education 0 to 6 years, language and religion, 6 to 18 years, music and gymnastics, 18 to 20 years, compulsory military training, test at 20 years of age, 20 to 30 years, maths, trigonometry, algebra, etc. Then test at 30. Test at 30 years of age, 30 years of age, whosoever showing still higher inclination for study. Then 30 to 35 years, dialectic or say philosophy. Then 35 to 50 years, he will work as a philosopher king. Then 50-year plus, he will work for self contemplation, or liberation. And welfare of the society. Welfare of the society. This is the curriculum of education. Curriculum of education of Plato. Now come to the point. Let's have criticism. Let's have surgery of this curriculum. 0 to 6 years. Children are in very tender age. Right? Children are in the very tender age. It is quite difficult to give them education of religion. Am I right or wrong? They will not understand religion. What is religion, ethics, morality, value? They will not understand. This is the one point of criticism. Second one, 6 to 18 years of age, music and gymnastics. Plato wanted that all the students should be given education of music. Why? According to him, most of the artists whosoever undergone the training of music, they are soft-hearted in nature. Mostly artists are soft-hearted. Maybe singer, maybe actor, actress, or indulge in this type of activities, dance, music, etc. Most of them are comparatively, in comparison to the common people, comparatively, they are soft-hearted. We have exception like Salman Khan, that is another thing. But most of them are soft-hearted. Are you agree with me? Are you agree with me? Most of them. क्योंकि उसे सरस्वती की वंदना करना पड़ता है. And still some extent Gurukul tradition is prevailing among them. Gurukul tradition is prevailing among them. And if you have education of art, craft, music, then your heart will be soft. And physical training like gymnastic, it will make your body strong. A strong body but soft hearted. A strong body but soft hearted. This was the intention. Then 18 to 20 years of age, compulsory military training. All the students will go to military training, compulsory military training, so that they can defend their motherland. For your kind information, Plato used the term guardian class. Guardian class. Guardian class of Plato consists of philosopher and second one soldiers. They consist of guardian class. If I use the term guardian class, then it means both philosopher and soldiers. Clear? No problem. Guardian class means philosopher and soldiers. For your kind information, education is meant for the guardian class only. Education is meant for the guardian class only. Getting my point? Getting my point? Then my point is here, guardian class, for your kind information. More than 90% of Greek population was engaged in agricultural activity, hunting, grazing, etc. They did not constitute the guardian class. Right? They were called in the language of Plato as men of iron, peasant or men of iron. They were doing the manual work, men of iron. And more than 90% population of the Greek society consisted these men of iron. This means education was meant for the guardian class. This means education was meant for the microscopic section of the society, say less than 10% population of the society. Microscopic section of the society, it means that if you are not giving education to more than 90% of population, and then the education system will be useless. This is another criticism, because education was meant for the guardian class only. Now, test at 30 years of age. Whosoever showing 20 to 30 years, what type of education will be given? Mathematics, trigonometry, algebra. See, till 20 years of age, students were not developed the habit of thinking. They did not develop the habit of thinking. Now, at a sudden, you are giving them education of mathematics, trigonometry, algebra. Is it possible for the student to learn? 20 years तक आपने उनका थिंकिंग हैबिट डेवलप नहीं किया, वो कम्प्लीटली बैल टाइप का है. Now you are expecting from the student to prepare for the civil service examination at once. Is it possible? Impractical system of education. Right? Impractical. This education system is impractical in nature. Then here, education of mathematics, trigonometry and algebra. Now test at 30 years. Whosoever is showing higher inclination for study, then that student will be given education of philosophy, dialectic. Dialectic means argument, counter argument, philosophical debate. If I say, if I put forth certain argument, you passed counter argument. For your kind information, entire book of Republic is written in the form of dialectic. The dialectic form. There is some characters. Plato created some characters, like we are writing a drama, novel. Certain character is created, and one character is giving one argument, another character is criticizing the same, giving counter argument, and thereafter Plato deduced the conclusion. So, entire book, the Republic, is written in the dialectic form. Now, 35 years of age, then from 35 to 50 years of age, then the student will work as a philosopher king. He will serve as a philosopher king till the age of 50 years. Now, come to the point. What is most important for a ruler? To have education of politics, have education of management, public administration, economics, instead of philosophy. What is more important? Education of politics, public administration, sociology, economics, then philosophy. Because usually rulers are practical person. They must have knowledge of practical aspect of life. But Plato wanted the philosopher king to rule over the state. Right? Philosopher king to rule over the state, who has no any personal interest, selfless person. Then it will be like rule of a saint. Instead of practical administrator, instead of practical politician, it will be a rule of a saint. A saintly quality people cannot rule over the state, because to rule over the state, similarly as an administrator, whenever you will be an IAS, IPS, you will have to confront with so many different types of people. Like somebody will be criminals, somebody saintly quality person, somebody intellectual, somebody poor, rich. You will have to deal with different qualities of people. And if you are a saint, you don't have experience of practical life, because Plato's students always remain within four walls of the house. Till the age of 35 years of age, you remain in the hostel, in the academy of Plato. And just after 35 years, without having any practical knowledge, you are ruling over the state. That is quite difficult to rule over the state. He is producing only an academician. He is producing only academician instead of ruler. That is another criticism. Now, another criticism which say one ruler will rule over the state till the age of 50 years, say 35 to 50 years of age. 35 to 50 years, say 15 years. That king will rule over the state for 15 years, for your kind information. Now, my question is, but examination is conducted annually, right? Anyone will qualify at the age of 35 years, this year 35 years, at the age of 35 years somebody become philosopher king, then next year another person will be the philosopher king, next year another person will be the philosopher king, next year another person will be philosopher king. How to accommodate those philosopher king, those students? Plato did not say anything in this context. Therefore, critics say Plato was himself a philosopher king. He wanted to rule over the state as a philosopher king. Philosopher king is simply an imagination of Plato. He wanted to rule over the state as a philosopher king because his ancestors were ruler of Athens. but he was removed from the throne. Therefore, he was projecting himself as a philosopher king, selfless person to rule over the state. Otherwise, how to accommodate so many philosopher kings? Getting my point? What did I say? 35 year age में एक philosopher king आया, वो 15 year rule किया. Then next year another philosopher king will come. फिर जो आएगा, फिर next year में आएगा, फिर next year में आएगा, फिर next year में आएगा. How to accommodate all of them as a philosopher king? This is the question. Getting my point? No problem? No. Please write on certain thing, thereafter again we will discuss. Give heading, Plato's theory of education. Write on, this theory is intimately linked with the theory of justice. In so far it is the positive or spiritual method, positive or spiritual method for the attainment of the same. Education plays a vital role in bringing about unity and harmony in the society. In the words of Barker, Radon under invited comma, it is an attempt to cure, it is an attempt to cure a mental malady, M-A-L-A-D-Y, by mental medicine, close invited comma. He believed that many evils of the society could be eliminated through proper education and considered it a spiritual remedy. Consequently, Rousseau had to remark that had to remark that Republic is the finest treatise on the education that has ever been written. Say, according to Plato, what is education? Education is mental medicine for mental disease. According to Plato, if somebody has not attained education, somebody is dumb, dull, duffer, and did not get education, then that person is mentally sick. That person is mentally sick. Now, try to understand. You all are preparing for the civil service examination. you are well educated, and say our peasant, our rickshaw puller, thela puller, marginal labor, marginal peasants, their thinking habit, their way of thinking and your way of thinking is quite different. Your view of society, nation, world, and their view of society, nation and world is quite different. Am I right or wrong? Whatever you will perceive, like you will prefer to interact with each other regarding current affairs, national affairs, international affairs. Their interested field will be agricultural activities, then trade, marginal trade, commerce, etc. Right? Their knowledge is limited, but your knowledge is unlimited. Your thinking perception is very broad. Your thinking perception is very broad, but their thinking perception is limited in nature. And in language of Plato, they are mentally sick. Now, another point to be noted, you must distinguish between two terms, education and learning, two different terms. Then Plato wanted education and Socrates wanted learning. Learning. Then what is the difference between education and learning? Education means you have degree of graduation, PG, PhD, etc. Learning means the thinking habit. Develop thinking habit, develop curiosity in the mind of the students. That is the learning. Learning क्या होता है? Education, like all of you are graduate in this classroom. You are educated one. And learning is different. Learning is the thinking habit, habitual thinking. Say for an instance, एप्पल गिरा, नीचे ही क्यों गिरा? नीचे, वो तो ऊपर भी जा सकता है. Thinking habit, you are thinking. That is the thinking habit. That is the learning. And due to that reason, he invented the law of gravitation. Similarly, have you heard about Thomas Edison? Thomas Edison made thousands of experiments to discover bulb, but he failed. Ultimately, he got success, and when he was a school-going child, his teacher wrote a letter to his mother that your son is asking different type of question and creating nuisance in the classroom, and therefore we are not in position to teach him. Because he is raising different type of question. That is the curiosity, that is the learning habit. That is the learning habit, curiosity in the mind. So we are not in position to teach him. आजकल के हमारे टीचर जो होते हैं ना, वो क्या करते हैं, जो मैंने बता दिया, जो मैंने पढ़ा दिया वही सही है, वही ध्रुव सत्य है. राइट? अपने दिमाग मत लगाओ, जो रटा दिया वही रट जाओ, मार्क्स भी अच्छा आता है. बच्चों को मार्क्स भी आ जाता है अच्छा. अभी CBSE के स्टूडेंट लोग जो है 80%, 90%, 95% कोई तो 100% मार्क्स लाता, कंप्लीटली जीरो, और रटंत विद्या हो गया. And more than 90% of teachers is not satisfying the curiosity of the students, not developing the learning habit in the mind of the students. That is the main problem. They develop learning habit. ग्रामवेल का नाम सुना है? Have you heard name of ग्रामवेल, जो टेलीफोन का इन्वेंशन किया? वह जो है कि बरसों तक जो है कि टेलीफोन की डिस्कवरी में लगे, वो घर भी नहीं आते थे, खाने पीने का उनको खाने पीने के लिए वो भूल जाते थे, गैरेज में ही रहते थे. तो उनके वाइफ ने घर के बगल में गैरेज बना दिया. 1 ईयर तक वो गैरेज से बाहर ही नहीं निकले. अल्टीमेटली ही इन्वेंटेड टेलीफोन. जब थॉमस एडिसन से पूछा गया कि आपने थाउजेंड्स वे से एक्सपेरिमेंट किया, क्या आप फ्रस्ट्रेटेड नहीं हुए, डिसहार्टेन नहीं हुए? नो नो नो, आई लर्न दैट thousands of, with help of thousands of way we cannot manufacture bulb. हमने तो ये एक्सपेरिमेंट किया कि 1000 टेक्निक से बल्ब नहीं बनाया जा सकता है, 1001 टेक्निक से बल्ब बनाया जा सकता है. ये टेक्निक से बल्ब बनाया जाता, 1000 ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंट वट एवर आई हैव मेड, देयर बाय वी कैनॉट मेक बल्ब. सो डेवलप द थिंकिंग हैबिट. What about education? Develop thinking habit, virtue in the mind of the students. But so far as Plato's education is concerned, he was developing only philosopher king, academician, instead of practical politicians. Now come to the point again, that education is mental medicine of mental disease. Like if we are suffering from fever or any other diseases, then we consult doctor to take medicine, right? To take medicine, we consult doctor. Similarly, if you are not educated, then you are mentally sick. I am doctor, I am giving you education, I am widening your idea. Think one thing in different way, I am widening your idea. So I am doctor in this sense, in the sense of Plato. Education is mental medicine of mental disease. Please go through the paragraph and ask me question. See, one meaning of one sentence you have not understood perhaps. Education plays a vital role in bringing about unity and harmony in the society. Education plays vital role in unity, bringing about unity and harmony in the society. What is meaning of the term unity and harmony? Because through education we are socializing our people. Socializing our people, say the political socialization, as we have already discussed in the previous class. Idea of Aristotle. Aristotle studied 158 constitution of the contemporary world. Thereafter he deduced conclusion. What is the reason behind revolution and how to prevent revolution? Then he suggested the ruler to give proper education, to socialize the people in the same way. So today we all are studying the same NCERT book. So we have the same process of socialization, the same thinking process, like we all are giving due honor and respect to our national flag, our national anthem, we all are patriot.